Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Cohen, the School Counseling Director here at Indian River High School, and I'm going to be narrating this presentation for you. Today we're primarily going to be talking about scheduling, but before we do that, I want to introduce you to the key players involved in the process. We're going to talk about diploma types, promotion requirements from one grade to the next. Then we're going to talk about scheduling, and we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about how to calculate your GPA, because I know you have a lot of questions, or we get a lot of questions about that, and we're going to talk about transcripts and parchment. So the first person I want to introduce is Mrs. Saki. Just remember, she is our Access Advisor. I've listed all the things that she can help students with. She primarily works with juniors and seniors, but she can work with 9th, 10th graders, and 11th and 12th graders. Her email address is listed here, so if you have any questions about these things, you can feel free to contact her. Your assigned school counselors can also assist you with these things as well, but Ms. Saki is an expert on some of these things, so she's just another resource for you. But remember, everyone is assigned a school counselor. Mr. Hargrove has last names beginning with A through CR, Ms. Thompson, CU through HAR, Mrs. Jones, last names HAS through MC, Mrs. Peterson, last names ME through SC, and Ms. Potts, last names SE through Z. And Mrs. Goodman works with our AVID students, and she also is our student assistance counselor. So once in a while you may talk to her if you're having a bad day or a rough time. One of the counselors may refer you to her, but all of these counselors are great resources for all of our students. All right, so let's talk about graduation requirements and types of diplomas. Really briefly, there are basically two diplomas, the Advanced Studies Diploma and the Standard Diploma. For students who have a 504 plan or IEP, they can go for the Standard with credit accommodations, but I'm not going to really talk about that too much. For the Advanced Studies Diploma, 26 credits, and the Standard Diploma is 22 credits. So we're going to talk a little bit more in detail on the next slide. All right, so I've turned off the video so you can see the full slide. Here are the full graduation requirements. Just remember, for the Standard Diploma, you have to pass English every single year. You need 3 credits of math, 3 of science, 3 of history, PE 9, PE 10. There is no foreign language requirement. All juniors will take economics and personal finance, and that's where you'll take the WISE test. And then the other classes are just electives. Remember, for students graduating now, you have to take and pass either an honors or AP course, or you have to pass an industry certification test while you're in high school. And the WISE test that you'll take in your junior year with economics and personal finance counts as that industry certification test. And there are lots of other tests that you can take while you're in high school. But again, total of 22 credits for the Standard Diploma. For the Advanced Studies Diploma, you just need 1 extra math, 1 extra science, and 1 extra history. Specifically with math, you have to get through Algebra 2, and with science, you're going to have to take chemistry or physics. With PE, it's the same requirements, but for foreign language, it is different. You do have to take 3 credits of 1 foreign language, or 2 of one and 2 of another. Everybody has to do the economics and personal finance, and then of course all the other requirements are the same, total of 26 credits. You can see that the SOL requirements are exactly the same. You have to have 5 passing SOL scores with the classes. 2 in English, which is English 11 reading and writing, 1 math, 1 science, and 1 history. So once you have taken your SOLs and passed them for graduation, you will not take any more SOLs in high school, with the exception all 10th graders take the biology SOL, whether you passed earth science or not, and all students have to take at least 1 math SOL while you're in high school. In order for you to get promoted to the next grade level from 9th to 10th grade, you have to pass 5 credits and be moving into the 2nd year of high school. From 10th to 11th grade, you have to pass 10 of your classes and moving into your 3rd year of high school. And then finally, 11th to 12th grade, you have to have passed 16 credits and you're moving into your 4th year of high school. So it's really important that you're passing your classes every single year. Just remember that when you're picking classes for next year, you can sign up for honors, advanced placement classes, and dual enrollment classes. But when you sign up for those classes, please make sure that you are willing to work hard in those classes. Think about what types of things you're going to be involved in school next year. Are you going to be in clubs? Are you going to be in sports? Are you going to have a part-time job? Are you going to be able to handle a lot of honors, AP, and dual enrollment classes? Or are you going to be able to handle at least 1? Totally up to you. If you want to challenge yourself, that's great. But we do want to make sure that you're successful in the classes. You also need to remember that if you're going to be signing up for dual enrollment classes, there is a process and there is paperwork and there are deadlines. Every year we have students sign up for these classes and they don't meet the deadlines and they don't follow through with stuff, and you have to meet the deadlines. So if you're going to be taking the dual enrollment classes, please make sure you follow everything that we tell you to do by the time that it's due. All right, so let's talk about picking some classes. Remember, the goal is to pick 8 classes for next year. You guys are either going to be sophomores, juniors, and seniors. We mailed information home on January 4th, and it has a lot of great scheduling information and a lot of information about what you're going to be doing. But you can also go to the Indian River High School counseling page starting January 7th, and I've listed the website right here, and it has videos, it has information for your parents, and it has the full scheduling booklet. Remember, you're picking classes for next year, and there are going to be some classes that you can choose to be online. We also talked about the dual enrollment classes, and those options are going to have applications that you're going to have to fill out. When you get that mailer the week of January 4th, please make sure you read through it. It's going to have directions on how to enter your classes for next year. We're trying something a little bit different. You will be able to go through Student View to enter your 8 classes. You're going to use the scheduling booklet that's provided on the website to find the classes that you want to take, and you're going to enter those classes into Student View, and you will be able to do this the week of January 15th through the 22nd. The next slide is going to have a little quick video on how to do this in Student View, so hopefully that'll help you out, but there are directions in the mailer. And what happens if you don't pick your 8 classes? If you don't choose your 8 classes, that means your counselor is going to have to reach out to you, get in touch with you to figure out what it is you want to take, or we're going to pick your classes for you, and we do not want to do that. These classes are your classes, but you need to take responsibility for picking your classes by the deadline of January 22nd. All right, everybody, so this is just a quick tutorial on how you're going to enter your course request through Student View. So the first thing you're going to do is log into Student View, and then you're going to click on the left-hand side, Course Request. The first thing you're going to see is you're going to see your graduation status summary. This lists all the classes that you need to graduate, how many classes you've completed, what classes you're currently taking this year, and then what classes you will need to take next year. This is all based on what type of diploma is entered into the computer for you, either standard or advanced studies. So for this student, she's going for a standard diploma. Now, in order to pick your classes for next year, all you're going to do is click on the blue tab that says click here to change your course request. So click on that. And then you're going to see you have course ID number, course title, whether it's elective, college prep, credits, comments, all kinds of good information. When you go to the Indian River High School Guidance website, you will be able to find the scheduling booklet, and it'll tell you all the course numbers for all the classes that you want to take next year. So I'm going to be signing up for this student as if she were taking 8 classes for next year, and I already did a little bit of research. So I know the first class she wants to take is English 12. So under course ID, I know the number for English 12 is 13011. I'm not hitting enter or anything like that. It automatically takes me to the classes. But you'll see there's some options. There's the CVA classes, Chesapeake Virtual Academy, and then there's the regular English 12. Chesapeake Virtual Academy is an online program that's going to be offered next year, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit later on in the presentation. So I'm not going to talk about it right now, but I do want you to see the CVA designation. But anyway, I want her to take English 12 next year, so we're going to add that as a request. I also know that next year she wants to take AFTA, so that's 23011. Not hitting enter or anything like that, and I can see AFTA as a regular class or a CVA class. I just want that as a regular class. I also know that she wants to take environmental science, so I looked that up. That's 30311, and I'm going to add that to my request for her. But look, it tells me, hey, she's currently enrolled in environmental science, so there's no reason she should take that again. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove that class. Now I want to know what other classes that she can take as a science class, so I'm just going to type in biology because she's interested in a biology class. And what's going to happen is it's going to tell me all the different biology classes that come up, either the online classes or the regular classes. And she had said that she wanted to do marine biology, which is the Bio 2 ecology, so I'm going to add that in. And then also, I know she needs to take government. Well, I forgot to look up that number, so I'm just going to type in GOV, part of the title, and I can see all my government classes, and she wants to do honors government, so I'm going to add that in. And then I know she wants to do some electives, so she said she was interested in psychology, so I'm going to type in PSY. There are all the psychologies: AP Psychology, 1 credit class, Psychology, 1 credit class. So I'm going to click on the add request because I want to add that class in. I also know that she's interested in ceramics, so I'm going to type in CER. Now I can see that for ceramics 2 and 3, there are some prerequisites that she's not met, because it makes sense. You have to take ceramics 1 before you can take ceramics 2, but she just wants to do ceramics 1, so we're going to add that in. And I also know that she wants to be excused 4th block both semesters because she's a senior, a rising senior, so she can do a 3x3. So I'm just going to type in the word excuse, and I can see there's a 1st semester class and a 2nd semester class. So I'm going to add both of those in. There's the 2nd semester class. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 classes. That's exactly what I need, but I do want to enter some alternate classes just in case. So one of the alternate classes she said she was interested in taking just in case is guitar. So I don't know that number, but I'm going to type in guitar. There's the guitar, and instead of adding it, I'm going to add that as an alternate. Now there's a couple other things I just want to show you. For alternate day classes, like music, let's type in orchestra. I can see there's orchestra and concert orchestra. Remember, whatever music class you're taking this year, you're just going to sign up for the exact same music class next year, and then the music teachers will let us know if we need to make any changes. But I want you to notice that it says alternate day. If you sign up for any class that's an alternate day class, you need to sign up for a second class that's an alternate day class. That way it'll match up in the computer when it's creating your schedule. I also wanted to show you that, let's say this student realized that she never took World History 1 as a 9th grader, and she needs to take it next year as a senior. When I type in World History 1 doesn't come up because I guess the computer is thinking that she's a senior, so she's not allowed to take World History 1 since that's only for 9th graders. So if you run into any situations where a class won't let you add it in, just let your counselor know and he or she can assist. But when you're done adding in all of your classes, you're just going to click Return to Course Request Summary. And it's going to show you the 8 classes that you signed up for. It's going to show you how many credits each class is worth. Remember, if you signed up for a 2-credit class like AP European History or Culinary Arts 1, you would only sign up for 7 classes because it's all about the total number of credits. But this student has 6 credits, and of course she's going to be excused both semesters to leave 1 bell early. Now let's say 2 days later she decides that she wants to change her mind. All she does is go back to Course Request, clicks on the blue tab, and let's say she decided she no longer wants to do psychology, she can remove that. And then let's say she decides she wants to do sociology instead. She would just type in sociology and then add that in as a request, and then sociology has now been added in. Good to go, and return to course request summary. Do not press the lock course request. You don't need to worry about doing that. Your counselor will take care of that. So anyway, hopefully you found this helpful, and just make sure you get this done between January 15th and January 22nd. All right, so hopefully you found that video helpful. Again, not too difficult. Just a couple other reminders for next year. When you are picking your classes for next year, we hire teachers based on what you choose. So if a lot of people pick psychology, we're going to have a lot of psychology teachers. But if nobody signs up for French 4, we're not going to be able to teach French 4. So it's really important that you pick the classes that you want to take so we can try to offer as many classes as possible. And remember, you're choosing your classes now. You will have until March 4th to make changes, but once that deadline has passed, you're not going to be able to easily change classes, specifically elective to elective. As many of you know, when August comes, we do not really allow you to switch your classes, especially those elective to elective classes. So we're going to be holding to the deadlines. Please make sure you choose your classes wisely in January, and your counselor, of course, will be reviewing your course choices in January and February, and you will have lots of opportunities to email them questions. Remember, you're picking classes, not teachers. So please don't email us and say, well, who's going to teach AP Bio next year? Who's going to be teaching AP Government next year? Typically, we think we know, but things change, so we never really know. So we don't want you signing up for classes just because you think a teacher is going to be teaching the classes. All right, some of you are in music or AVID classes or alternate day classes. Just a quick reminder about what alternates with what. For rising 10th graders who are music students, your music classes are going to alternate with PE. For AVID 2 students, your AVID 2 class is going to alternate with honors biology. 11th grade music, it's going to alternate with economics and personal finance. AVID 3, it alternates with honors Virginia and US history. And then 12th grade music alternates with AP Government, or you can take another music class. And AVID 4 also alternates with AP Government. So when you're choosing your classes, make sure you pick the right alternate day class that matches up. Your counselor will double check it, but it's helpful if you can do that for us. All right, so something new for next year. Everybody knows this year we're doing a lot of online classes. We're doing the hybrid thing. Some people come to school 2 days a week. Some people are taking classes at home, virtually for the whole semester. But Chesapeake is offering a full online program called the Chesapeake Virtual Academy, CVA, that's what we call it, for next year. So this is nothing like what we're doing this year. This program is designed for students who say, I really like taking classes online. I especially like classes that are asynchronous, which means that you don't have to log in at certain times. You're just provided weekly assignments and you have to get it done by the deadline, but you can do it whenever you want to during the week. CVA classes are going to be taught by Chesapeake teachers, but the teachers may not specifically be from Indian River High School. As I mentioned, the classes are asynchronous. You're going to have weekly assignments that are due, but you can do them whenever you want to. You don't have to log in at a specific time. If you want to be a full-time CVA student, meaning that you're taking all 8 classes online, there is a full year commitment. But you can take some classes online and some in person. That will be an option for you. If you take these classes online and you're a CVA student, you are still assigned to Indian River High School, and of course you can participate in sports and activities. But let's hear a little bit more from the person that's in charge of this, Mr. Steve Chamberlain, and he'll tell you the more specifics of the program.
Hello. In this video, we will look at scheduling options for online classes in the 2021-2022 school year. This school year, we implemented the Chesapeake Online program as an emergency response to the COVID pandemic. That program may continue in the 2021-2022 school year if needed. Students who signed up for Chesapeake Online received a synchronous learning experience in which they were able to interact daily through live instruction with their teacher. Students who select Chesapeake Virtual Academy for the 2021-2022 school year will have a different experience. All classes in the Chesapeake Virtual Academy are asynchronous, which means students are able to work independently at their own pace and will not receive daily live instruction from their teacher. Students that sign up for classes with Chesapeake Virtual Academy will remain connected to their home school and can participate in all school-sponsored sports clubs and activities. Chesapeake Virtual Academy courses are also taken as part of a student's normal course load. For most high school students in Chesapeake, that is a maximum of 8 courses each year. While Chesapeake Virtual Academy courses can be completed at any location, students do have to be on campus for all required Virginia Department of Education and College Board testing. Students have 2 options for enrolling in Chesapeake Virtual Academy. They can enroll as a part-time CVA student, where they will take a mix of online and traditional courses at their home school. Other students may wish to be full-time virtual students. In this case, they can take all of their classes through Chesapeake Virtual Academy. In the coming slides, you will be able to see the courses that are offered. If a course is not offered through Chesapeake Virtual Academy, we can look at supplementing with course offerings in virtual Virginia. Full-time students that choose Chesapeake Virtual Academy are committing to a full year in the academy. Should students change their mind after course requests in the spring, they have until June 7th, 2021 to withdraw as a full-time student from the academy. Students who sign up for Chesapeake Virtual Academy courses will not be required to log in at a specific time of day. Instead, they can work at their own pace to complete individual assignments in a manner that best suits them. Each course will have a list of assignments that are due throughout the week, and students must remain on pace as set by the teacher. CVA students can complete their coursework anywhere that an internet connection is available. Students who have the ability to work from home may do so, or they may work from school. All students in Chesapeake Virtual Academy need to be independent, self-directed learners that are comfortable using the Schoology learning management system and email. Students will also have access to online learning support sessions with teachers as needed. These sessions, however, will not be direct synchronous instruction as Chesapeake Online was during the 2020-2021 school year. All of the classes listed on this slide and the next will be available as Chesapeake Virtual Academy courses. When entering your course requests in Synergy or scheduling with your counselor, you should be able to sign up for any of these classes. You will notice some of the classes have ALT listed after them. These classes are offered in a full year format on an alternating day basis. There are no AP Science classes offered through Chesapeake Virtual Academy. Students can take online AP Science classes through the Academy as they are enrolled through Virtual Virginia. All of these courses are Chesapeake Virtual Academy elective courses. Some of these are also offered in an alternating day, A-Day, B-Day format. Students will be able to earn the graduation requirements of sequential electives or career and technical education completer sequences through these CVA courses. All classes offered through CVA are always subject to sufficient enrollment and may not make if enough students do not select them. If you are interested in taking Chesapeake Virtual Academy courses, please enter them in your course requests for the 2021-2022 school year. You will be completing these course requests in Student View along with your counselor in the spring of this year. After students enter course requests in Student View, parents will be asked to verify and agree with those course requests in Parent View sometime in late February or early March. If you decide you would like to take a Chesapeake Virtual Academy course after your course requests have been entered, please see your counselor. Space is limited, and you may be able to secure a seat if there is empty space in a course. An important date to remember is the last day for full-time Chesapeake Virtual Academy students to withdraw from the program. That date is June 7th, 2021. If you have additional questions, please see your school counselor or contact Stephen Chamberlain, Supervisor of Chesapeake Online and E-Learning at stephen.chamberlain@cpschools.com.
All right, Mr. Chamberlain, thanks for that information. Students, I hope you found that helpful. Just make sure when you're picking your classes in Student View, if you want any of your classes to be online or the CVA classes, make sure you're picking the course numbers that have the CVA designation. And again, there will be some paperwork that you will have to fill out with your parents and guardians, but that will be in late February or early March that you'll have to do that. All right, so let's talk about your classes for next year. Everybody has to take English class next year. So it's either going to be regular English, honors English, If you're a rising junior or senior, you can take AP English, or if you're a rising senior, you can also take Dual Enrollment English. For rising seniors, we encourage you to take the Dual Enrollment English option over the AP English 12. But remember, if you want to take honors or AP or dual enrollment classes, are you willing to work hard? Do you typically make good grades in your classes? Are these the right classes for you? AP English 11 and 12 and Dual Enrollment English are 2-credit classes. So that means you're taking the classes all year long. All right, so I realized as I was doing this presentation, I talk a lot about AP and dual enrollment classes, and I want to make sure everyone knows what the difference is. A dual enrollment class is taught at the college level, typically through TCC, but it's taught here in the building by one of our teachers. But we follow TCC grade lines, so that means that you only earn an A, B, C, or D in the class, or a failing grade. There are no plus or minuses for final grades or quarter grades in a dual enrollment class. As long as you earn a C or better in the class as a final grade, you will earn the college credit automatically for Virginia schools and schools outside of Virginia, quite possibly. But you do have to pay roughly $135 per semester to take the classes. And remember, Dual Enrollment US History and Dual Enrollment English 12 are 2-credit classes, so you would be paying the $135 each semester. AP classes are also taught at a college level, but the teacher is specifically teaching you to prepare you for the final AP exam that will take place in May. The AP exam does cost money. It costs, I think it's around $90 to take the exam. And in order to earn the college credit, it's not about your final grade in the class. It's about what did you score on the AP exam. And typically, you're going to have to score a 3, 4, or 5 on the final AP exam to either earn college credit or be exempt from certain classes when you go to college. So it really just depends on, do you want to take the class and earn the college credit by your final grade, or do you want to earn the college credit by taking that final AP exam? Those are the major differences between the two. For math, for the Advanced Studies Diploma, remember you have to get through Algebra 2. So for the majority of you, that's going to be Algebra 1 Part B, Geometry Part B, AFTA, and then Algebra 2. For some of you, you may skip over AFTA if you're a really good math student, and you'll do Algebra 1B, Geometry B, Algebra 2, and then maybe Probability and Stats or Trigonometry or the Advanced Functions class that's offered in the senior year. So your counselor will give you some guidance on that. I know some of you are taking Algebra or Honors Geometry straight in one semester. That's perfectly fine. Those count as credits too. Just remember, Algebra 1 Part A and Geometry Part A count as elective credits. For the standard diploma, you need 3 math credits, and you have to get through geometry. When you get through Geometry Part B and you are pretty good in your class, you may want to go on to AFTA or Algebra 2. When you get through Geometry Part B, but you struggled in math, you may want to take Computer Math. It's designed for students to be a little bit more successful in if they struggle in math. So that's something your counselor can help you with as well. So this is a chart, and there's another slide on the next slide that gives you some recommendations about if you're currently taking, what you're maybe taking next semester, and then what you should be taking next year. I'm not going to really go over this because you can watch this later. The one thing that I do want to say is just be very careful. If you're not making C's or better in classes above geometry, like in Algebra 2 or Trig, be careful about signing up for the next math class like Trig or Math Analysis, because those classes are going to be more challenging for you. It's really important that you also consider what classes that colleges will be looking for. You know, how many math classes do you need and to what level do you need to get to be competitive to apply to those colleges. All right, I turned my video off so you can see the whole slide. Again, just more information about if you're currently in, maybe what you should take. If you're interested in going to college, if you're interested in going to TCC, ideally you should take Algebra 2 in high school because that will better prepare you for college level math. For science classes for next year, if you're a rising 10th grader, typically you're going to take biology, either regular or honors, or maybe the alternate day with the AVID program. For rising 11th and 12th graders, you can see you have a lot more variety and options of what you can take. The majority of our students who go for the Advanced Studies Diploma will take Earth Science or Environmental Science in 9th grade, then Biology, and then Chemistry, and then one additional science. but physics is certainly an option. You have to take chemistry or physics to graduate with the Advanced Studies Diploma. If you have questions about what chemistry and physics are like, you can certainly ask your counselor, or you can ask the teachers, Ms. Kirby, Mr. Fedorowicz, or Mr. Houston, who are the chemistry and physics teachers here at Indian River High School. There is an online class, Oceanography, but you have to take Earth Science first. And then, of course, we offer the AP classes of Bio, Chemistry, Physics, and we are offering Environmental Science as a new AP class next year. And remember, as Mr. Chamberlain said, none of these AP Science classes are taught as CVA classes. For history, rising 10th graders, if you're going for the Advanced Studies Diploma, you would need to take World History 2, either regular or honors, or if you're really good in history and you want the challenge and you want to take history all year long, you could do AP European History for your 10th grade history. If you're going for the standard diploma, all you have to have is World History 1 in 9th grade. If you pass that, then you actually get a break from history in 10th grade and you do not have to take any history in 10th grade. Rising 11th graders, you can do U.S. and Virginia history, regular, honors, AP, or dual enrollment, but we do encourage dual enrollment over AP U.S. history. And then finally, rising seniors, you have to take government, regular, honors, or AP. AP government is a one-semester class, while AP U.S. history and dual enrollment U.S. history are 2-credit classes, much like the AP European history. Don't forget PE, rising 10th graders, you need to take PE 10, and this is where you'll get driver's education. If you're going to be 16 before February 1st of 2022, we will put you in PE 10 first semester. That way you can get the classroom part of driver's education. Remember, we don't do the on-the-road part anymore for driver's education, so you'll have to go through a private company to get the on-the-road part for your driver's ed to get your license. And then, of course, when you pass PE 10, you can also take advanced PE. We offer team sports, weightlifting, or basketball, 3 different classes. Just refer to the scheduling booklet to make sure you're signing up for the right class, because it won't specifically say team sports, weightlifting, or basketball when you see it in student view. Foreign languages, remember, if you're going for the standard diploma, you do not need a foreign language, but if you're going for the advanced studies diploma, you do need 3 credits of one, or 2 of one and 2 of another. Just remember, even if you're going for the standard diploma but you're applying to colleges, most colleges are looking for 1 or 2 credits of a foreign language for you to be able to apply to the college. So it's very important that you look to see what the college application requirements are, or the admissions requirements are for colleges that you're interested in applying to. Secondly, for students going for the Advanced Studies Diploma, you may finish up Spanish 3 in 10th grade and say, oh my gosh, I'm totally done. I don't need to take any more foreign language. But if you go to schools like William & Mary or JMU or UVA, for example, they're going to require that you take a foreign language while you're in college. So if you haven't had a foreign language in 11th or 12th grade, you may have to go back to a very beginning level of a foreign language when you enter college. So it's something to consider, that there are some benefits with continuing on to the 4th or 5th year of a foreign language, even though you've already met the graduation requirements. All 10th graders who are going to be rising juniors need to make sure that you sign up for the Economics and Personal Finance class in your junior year. Remember, if you're a music student, you're going to be doing the alternate day EPF class. And the economics class, this is when you'll take the WISE test. The WISE test is one of many industry certification tests that you can take for that graduation requirement, specifically if you're not going to be taking an AP or honors classes while you're in high school. But there are many other industry certification tests that you can take while you're in high school, and your counselor can certainly help you with that. And then finally, remember electives. This is where you're going to choose all the other classes that you are interested in taking. Are there classes that you've heard about? Have you taken your sequential elective? Remember, you have to take 2 classes that kind of fall in the same category, like Art 1 and Art 2, or 2 orchestra classes, that type of thing. Have you considered taking keyboarding? It's not a requirement for graduation, but it is something that we recommend for all students so they are able to type much quicker than they currently do. And then we are offering some new classes next year. We're offering AP Environmental Science. We're offering African American History as a semester class. And then we're offering AP Human Geography. So these are all classes that would be open to typically rising juniors and seniors. And then, of course, don't forget your classes like AVID, your orchestra, chorus, and band classes. If you're in music and you want to be in music next year, make sure you sign up for a music class. At this point, we ask that you not sign up for the honors music classes. We make that determination in September, so you don't have to worry about doing that right now. So whatever music class you're in this year, just sign up for the exact same music class for next year. Don't forget about Junior ROTC, the Air Force program that we have here. Teachers for Tomorrow, if you're interested in being a teacher, that's a great class through the business department. We offer marketing classes. And then, of course, remember, if you have an IEP and you take academic support classes, typically one per semester, you're going to have to take those classes next year as well. So for you, you're only going to be signing up for 6 classes because your support classes will fill out the other 8. If for some reason you're saying, hey, I have academic support classes this year, but I don't want to take them next year, so I'm not going to sign up for them, we have to sign you up for them until there's an IEP change. Once the IEP team has decided you don't need them anymore, we can take them out of your course request, and then you can pick other electives. And of course, don't forget the Chesapeake Career Center. We call it CCC. These classes are free. These are the classes like automotive repair, welding, cosmetology, or even EMT training, and there's lots of others. If you're interested in applying to one of these programs, you would actually apply through your counselor. The applications are going to be available January 12th, and they're due back to your school counselor by February 12th. If you're accepted, then you would spend half the day at Indian River High School and half the day at CCC. These classes will prepare you for work in college. There are lots of industry credential testing that takes place at CCC. We talked about that earlier. Students who go to CCC and take these free classes in their junior and or senior years can earn a lot more money right out of high school as opposed to if you were just getting a minimum wage job. Some CCC classes will even offer you college credits while you're still in high school. But remember, these are programs designed for juniors and seniors. So it's important that if you are in 9th and 10th grade, you are getting your graduation requirements out of the way so you have lots of room to apply and take classes at the Career Center your 11th and 12th grade. Remember, these applications will be available from your school counselor January 12th, and the deadline is February 12th. But I highly advise if you can get them turned in earlier to your counselor, that would be much better. If you need more information about what classes are available, just go to cpschools.com/CCC to find out the full list of classes available. And then you're going to be finalizing your choices. Remember, you will have from January 15th to the 22nd to fill out your course request through Student View, and then the counselors are going to review your choices from January 22nd to February 22nd. If you have any questions about scheduling, please email your questions to your counselor, or they can contact you, and that way you'll get your questions resolved. You're going to have access to your 8 final classes in Student View around February 24th, you and your parents through Parent View, and you're going to have until March 4th to confirm or change your request. So March 4th is the ultimate deadline. Remember, if we don't have people sign up for classes, the classes are not going to be offered. So we get that every year that people are like, oh my gosh, Mr. Cohen, I can't believe you're not teaching AP Calculus BC next year. And then we say, well, we only had 2 students sign up for it, and that's not enough. And then the students will say, oh my gosh, but I know 10 people that wanted it. Well, they didn't sign up for it. So you need to make sure that you and your friends sign up for all the classes you want to take. And just remember, starting January 7th on the Indian River High School guidance page, which is listed here below, that's where all the information regarding the scheduling booklets and these videos will be listed, and there will be a video for your parents as well. All right, I realized I talked a lot about deadlines, and there's lots of information, so I want to just kind of do one slide that kind of sums everything up. The Chesapeake Career Center applications will be available January 12th from your counselor, and they are due no later than February 12th to your counselor. Dual enrollment applications, we don't deal with those until after we get scheduling done. So the applications will be available probably around March 4th, and then they'll be due to your counselor sometime in April, and we'll give you information on what you'll have to do. The CVA, the Chesapeake Virtual Academy, those are the online classes that Mr. Chamberlain talked about. When you verify your course request in Student View or Parent View, February 24th through March 4th, there will be a link for you to fill out some information if you requested any CVA classes. And that deadline will probably be sometime in March. But you won't really see that information until February 24th. And then finally, one thing I didn't talk about in the presentation was Virtual Virginia. Virtual Virginia is an online program that we've used for many, many years. It's totally free to Chesapeake students. And this is for situations where we know that we're not going to be offering a class that you want to take. So for example, let's say you wanted to take AP Statistics and we don't typically teach that class. That would be a class you can take through Virtual Virginia as an asynchronous online class. Those applications we can't even submit until April 1st. Once we get you the application, then we would want you to turn it back into us as soon as possible. There are some other classes that are offered through Virtual Virginia that some of our students like to take, like for example, American Sign Language 1 and 2 is offered through Virtual Virginia, but not through Chesapeake Public Schools. So if you're interested in a class that you've heard about someone taking, but you don't see it in the scheduling booklet, you can ask your counselor that maybe it's a Virtual Virginia class. But these are the deadlines, so I just want to make sure I gave you all the information in one slide. So as I was finalizing this video, there are a couple things that I did not cover and I want to make sure that you are aware of. Number one, remember that when you're picking your classes in Student View, you're choosing 8 classes, but some of those classes may be 2 credit classes. So for example, if you're choosing in this situation AP English 11, which is a 2 credit class, Dual Enrollment US History, Dual Enrollment US History Part 2, Spanish 3, Econ, Chemistry, Trig, and Art, that's 8 classes, but that's 9 credits, so that's too many classes. So just be aware of those 2 credit classes, and they're listed in the scheduling book, classes like AP Chem, AP Biology, Culinary Arts 1, AP English 11. We don't want you picking too many classes. Number 2, when you're entering your classes in Student View, you can enter 1 or 2 alternate classes. These are classes that you want to take just in case something else that you pick is not offered next year. You don't have to, but it's helpful for us. Number 3, you will not be able to enter any CCC classes into Student View. So if you're applying to CCC, we need you to go ahead and enter your 8 classes, assuming you're not going to be going to CCC. Once you're accepted, then they will let us know, and then we will remove 4 of your electives from your 8 classes. If you currently go to CCC this year and you know that you're going next year for Part 2, you will also not be able to enter those classes. So you'll only enter 4 classes because you're only going to spend half the day with us. And then finally, if you are interested in going for the Advanced Studies Diploma, but you don't want to take chemistry or physics because that really scares you and you feel like that's going to be too much math and too much science, there is another option. Physics for Technology 1 and 2 is taught in our technology department, and if you take Part 1, it counts as an elective credit, but if you take Part 2, it counts as your physics credit, and it's teaching physics more as a technology class rather than a science class with so much focus on word problems and math. So this is a great way for you to meet the chemistry or physics requirement for the Advanced Studies Diploma without actually having to take chemistry or physics in the science department. And then finally, if you're interested in being excused next year, first and or second semester, only for seniors, you do want to enter excused as some of your course requests because we need to know that that is your plan. If you are planning on going to college and playing sports at a Division I or Division II school, then you need to register with the NCAA Eligibility Center. You typically would do this sometime in your junior year or the beginning of your senior year. If you're planning on playing college sports, you need to make sure that you are taking the approved NCAA classes because that will be a requirement to get approved by the NCAA. So you need to make sure you let your counselor know that you're thinking about playing sports in college so they can kind of guide you to the right choices in terms of picking classes. So you need to make sure you register, and then I would encourage current juniors to take the SAT or ACT if possible in the spring of this year. We're not really sure what the NCAA is going to do about the SAT or ACT scores for seniors next year. For this year, they are waiving the scores. but I can't guarantee what they're going to do for next year. So if Virginia or Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, locally, there are places where you can sign up to take the SAT or ACT, and you just go to the websites to do that, and you feel comfortable going into school to take a test, I would encourage you to do that. If you don't feel comfortable on taking the test in a school, then certainly wait, and then we'll just play it by ear in the fall of your senior year. All right, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I wanted to go over briefly how we calculate GPAs because we get a lot of students who ask about this. So I just want to make sure you have a general idea of how we do this. So remember, we only use final grades to calculate your GPA. We do not use your report card grades every quarter. For every final grade that you earn, you're assigned a numerical value for that grade. So for example, a final grade of an A is 4.0, a final grade of an A minus is a 3.7, and so on. For every honors class that you take and pass in high school, we're going to add 0.025 to your overall GPA when the class is done. For every AP class or dual enrollment class, we're going to add 0.05 to your overall GPA when the class is passed successfully. And here's an example of how we would calculate a GPA just for, let's say, your 10th grade year. If these were the classes you took in 10th grade and these were the final grades that you made, this is how we would calculate your overall GPA. We would add up all the numbers for the point values for the final grades that you earned for the letter grades, which is 22.3 total points. You took 8 classes because AP Euro counts for 2 credits, so we divide by 8. So your unweighted GPA for that school year would be a 2.7875. But then we add in all the extra weight for the honors and AP classes that you took. So for that 1 year, your overall GPA weighted would be a 2.9375. So this is how we do it for at the end of every semester. And of course, we add the honors and AP weight to your overall GPA. This is just an example of what happens when you fail a class. You can see that we do the exact same thing. We add up all the points, but we still have to divide by 8. Even though you only passed 7 classes, because that world history class you failed, we still have to count that in. So a failing grade does affect your GPA. And remember, every time you earn an E as a final grade, that grade will be averaged into your GPA. Even if you retake the class and pass it the next semester, the E is always going to stay on your transcript, and the E is always going to be averaged into your GPA. And then a lot of students always want to know, well, how can I get a copy of my transcript? What is my current GPA and class rank? Everyone can go to www.parchment.com to create a Parchment account. We sent you directions in the mailer from the January 4th mailer. It's also listed on the Indian River High School website, step by step of how to create an account. Once you create an account, you can request unofficial transcripts to be sent to you electronically. The information is sent to us that you requested it. We just review it and release it within typically a week. So don't expect it the next day, but we will typically get it to you within a week. And then that transcript will be emailed to you. So it's a very easy way, and this is completely free. This is how all the Chesapeake schools do it. And it's all free up until the time you graduate. So once you graduate, it costs a little bit of money. And then if you want official transcripts mailed to you, it does cost, I think, $3 or $5 per transcript. One last reminder that for last school year, the 2021 school year, for second semester classes or full year classes, if you received a grade that you were not pleased with because of what was going on last year, you can actually request that grade be changed to a P. So for example, let's say you took English 11 second semester last year and you ended up with a D plus and your overall GPA is a 2.9. Well, that D plus is lowering your GPA. You can have that D plus be changed to a P, which stands for pass, on your transcript. The P will be listed on your transcript, but will not be averaged into your overall GPA. So it will help your GPA a little bit. We can't really guarantee how colleges are looking at Ps. From what we've heard from some colleges is typically if you're made below a C, it's perfectly fine to take a P, but anything, a C or C plus or above, you may just want to keep that grade as is so a college will know exactly what grade you earned in that class. But this is only for second semester final grades from last year. If you want to make the change or request a change, all you have to do is go to the Indian River High School guidance page, and there is a form that says request a P as a final grade. It's at the very bottom here in the left-hand corner of this little snippet that I took. click on that, enter the information, and we will take care of that. But the deadline for doing that is January 31st. Just a quick reminder about your second semester classes. On February 2nd, you will be able to access your second semester classes through Student View, so you'll be able to see your new schedule with what bells you have and who your teachers are, all that good stuff. Please know that some of this information has changed since the schedules we sent out in August. Please make sure that you're in the right classes. If there's a problem, please let your counselor know. If there's a mistake, please let your counselor know. And remember, no elective changes. And just remember, if you were sent a schedule in August and now the schedule is different for second semester, please don't ask us to turn it back into what it was in August, because we've had to make so many changes with teachers and classes and class size that some of those classes just don't even exist anymore. But you will have access to your new classes starting February 2nd. All right, we're at the end of the presentation. Thank you so much for watching it. If you have any questions about scheduling or anything that I said, please email your assigned counselor, and all the counselors are listed here with their email addresses, and they will be glad to assist you. So I wish you the best in the scheduling process, and please make sure that you pick your classes in Student View between January 15th and January 22nd. Have a great day.